Hello and welcome to today's video. Today's feature is an evolution as far as military aviation is concerned. China's phenomenal first flight of the 6th generation fighter jet. This awesome achievement has made headlines across the globe and will redefine the future of air combat. In Zhuhai Air Show November 2024, China showcased the full-scale model of this advanced fighter jet. The fighter is named White Emperor, or in Chinese Beatty. This modern aircraft will be part of the ambitious project Nantianmen that focuses its attention on future aviation technology research. Nothing will be the same for future generations of air fighters, as this 6th generation air fighter is going to change the context of air warfare forever. It is equipped with state-of-the-art stealth features, artificial intelligence, and unparalleled maneuverability, all making sure it is going to be the best of the best in the new era of air combat. The mastery of military aviation, which China has attained, marks its thirst to compete with the superpowers of the outside world. It is an appropriate signal for ambition to be the frontrunner in the current technological arms race, and this 6th generation fighter is indication of that. However, before heading towards the 6th generation revolutionary fighter jet of China, we must understand what constitutes a 6th generation fighter. Jet fighters have evolved from the piston engine planes of World War I through generations of progressively advanced jet-powered aircraft. By the last decades of the 20th century, 5th generation fighter jets like the US F-22 Raptor and Russia's Su-57 developed into the best military aviation machinery. These jets offered high-end stealth, avionics integration, and supercruise sustained supersonic in-flight without afterburners. But now, here comes the 6th generation to outclass all these marvels. The future has optimistic hopes from this generation in the areas of stealth, artificial intelligence for decision-making, speed, and maneuverability. Many of these features are expected to find their way into China's 6th generation fighter part of Project Nantianmen. It has just been announced, and its design and capabilities have already generated a lot of talk and speculation worldwide. Expectations from 6th generation fighter jets, these futuristic flying machines would bring a change in the face of air combat. Check out some of the game-changing technologies that would make them different. The future 6th generation fighter aircraft will likely focus on stealth performance, reducing scene radar cross-sections to make them invisible to detection almost entirely. This feature, as well as many others, signifies the capability of evading multiple sensors including infrared, radio frequency, and ultimately satellite tracking systems. Artificial intelligence will change the concept of air combat. These jets will offer fully autonomous flight, automate battlefield decision-making, and process data in real time to give pilots unparalleled operational support. With the help of these jets, higher than supersonic and hypersonic speeds will be achieved, resulting in speedy responses and an excellent capability for eluding. Speed will decide warfare in the future. Just think lasers and high-power microwave systems in fighter aircraft. Wielding these weapons will enable them to knock down incoming missiles and drones with pinpoint precision. These fighters will be connected to a wider combat network for real-time data exchange between other air assets, ground stations, and satellite networks. Thus, they will be able to enhance coordination and situational awareness. These superjets will, in fact, have the potential to operate from near or low Earth orbit and could even be capable of attacking or undertaking missions during flight through space. That would totally change the scope of air combat as we know it. No doubt, this is a marked technological achievement, but 5th generation fighter development by China is again a strategic step with global implications. Today, we will attempt to see how this advanced aircraft, the White Emperor, has in store for the future balance of power not just in the Asia-Pacific but across the globe. Pilot of the 6th generation fighter jet from China, it will hold the deterrent power. The hypersonic speed, advanced stealth, and will use artificial intelligence in conducting strikes against adversaries, hence diverting enemy operations in just a second. This means that the space warfare capabilities enable China to project power far beyond its borders. Air superiority can therefore not only symbolize the growing mastery over an airspace, but also point to increasing dominance in military and technological domains. This fighter could be a game changer, striking from space a realm which conventional aircraft have not been able to penetrate. So, with the integrated cyber warfare capabilities, it would also be possible to disrupt enemy communications, navigation, and surveillance systems to create an overwhelming advantage to China in both kinetic and non-kinetic warfare. With its tailless configuration and lateral carrots, not to mention its massive internal weapon bay. The J-36 certainly illustrates how China has mastered stealth and aerodynamics. 3 WS-10C engines give the J-36 its phenomenal thrust and extremely high maneuverability. The future holds a TBCC engine configuration for Mach 3 and beyond cruise flight speeds. The J-36 is also known to deploy advanced titanium alloys that have been forged in modern fabrication processes to withstand severe stresses and, indeed, the aerodynamic forces. The innovations guarantee durability, but at the same time preserve the signature of stealth. Possessing a range of 6,000 kilometers and able to loiter for long periods, this aircraft is designed not only to outdistance conventional defense systems, but also to operate autonomously far away from home bases or tanker support. The internal weapon bay of the J-36 is massive, dwarfing that of its predecessors. Carrying a rather impressive payload, it is optimized for both precision strikes and multi-role operations. Not merely a fighter, this is truly a revolutionary paradigm. Stealth, speed, and payload capacity, a triad of threats to such fifth-generation air superiority aircraft as the F-22 and F-35. The J-26 more future of air combat advanced features for air, ground, and naval strikes. Sources state that up to 11 prototypes are reported as already being developed at a stunning pace. The world is indeed shocked with the induction of the J-26. Analysts speculate the level of outmaneuvering it could achieve against rival platforms in securing air dominance by China in critical theaters. So, with countries racing to catch up with this technological leap, one thing is clear: the race for sixth-generation dominance in the air is really on. The progress achieved by China indicates a world beyond it regarding the change in global military potential. It was believed that its effectiveness would create an arms race in which other countries would rush to gain their own developments to counterbalance China's increasing strength. Within the Asia-Pacific region, this fighter jet would bring China to stand shoulder to shoulder with vying powers like the South China Sea and the Taiwan Strait, an arena much more contentious than that of other areas within the operating scope of the U.S. and its allies. For shortly less than a century, the air power across the globe have been and is the USAF. Starting from its campaign during the World War II, its status was carried through the Cold War, serving in many modern conflicts. It is now challenged by newly emerging adversaries, especially China, whose People's Liberation Army Air Force (PLAAF) has grown very fast. In terms of air-to-air missiles, uncrewed aerial systems, and fighter jets such as the J-20, China has made serious inroads, with predictions that they will have more than 800 of these aircraft operational in 2030, all propelled by domestically built WS-15 engines. China has even taken to the skies in testing the Chengdu J-36, a potential sixth-generation stealth fighter that may one day rival the United States' fifth-generation jets, such as the F-22 and F-35. However, even with advances like these, China's strategic bomber capability remains far behind that of the United States, with the H-2O still under development. The U.S. fields advanced platforms like the B-21 Raider, The U.S. Air Force does not currently have a peer in the world when it comes to projecting power through air. It has a support of a very strong private defense industry. Unlike that, China is more focused on its regional ambitions as it seeks Indo-Pacific ascendancy and simultaneously defends the mainland. As the race for sixth-generation air superiority grows, eyes will turn to see if China can wrest the long-held superlative position in the air from America. India is faced with serious strategic challenges emerging from the technological advancements of China. The White Emperor and accompanying technologies will exponentially extend China's military reach along the line of actual control lack and perpetuate pressure on India's defenses. The People Liberation Army Air Force PLAAF of China is quickly going to expand. By 2030, it would have almost 50 squadrons, including 10 squadrons of fifth-generation J-20 stealth fighters, early iterations of J-35s, and advanced bombers like the H-6. In sharp contrast, it is the weakest in Indian fleet since 1965. It operates only 31 squadrons, most of which involve poor and aging platforms like the MiG-1. Projections show that this number would rise to only 32 to 30 for squadrons by 2030, way below the 40 squadrons required to counter China's mounting might. India is slowly modernizing. The acquisition of advanced fighter aircraft like the Rafale and Indigenous Light Combat Aircraft LCA is an attempt at enhancing its capacities, which, however, falls short of matching China's technological capabilities. Thus, the next-generation fighter for India, the LCAMK-2, is not supposed to start production until 2027, leaving the IAF miles behind. On the other hand, the Chinese already have over 200 J-20 fighters, and their sixth-generation prototypes are on the anvil. A two-front war is a looming possibility for India, especially if Pakistan chooses to open a second front against that country. The threat will stretch the Indian Air Force thin in defending the two borders, eastern and western. In addition, the new regime in Bangladesh seems to be fortifying ties with Islamabad, adding more strategic problems for India. The aspirations of China do not remain limited to the sky alone. It is aiming for an increase in military deployments in the IOR, which may potentially have bases available in Pakistan, East Africa, and even Southeast Asia for an air power projection influence. In reaction, India is now improving its maritime air power, such as through the forward positioning of Rafale and Jaguar fighters in the strategically important Andaman and Nicobar Islands and the improvement of critical bases like Campbell Bay and Comordo. Infrastructure is underdeveloped at such key bases. The balance of air power is certainly tipping. After dominating the skies for almost a century, the United States Air Force is now entering a new age with the rapid progress of China's military aviation. Particularly regarding machines such as the J-36, Chinese militaries modernize their fleets with the latest and greatest technologies very rapidly. However, external capabilities pose challenges, especially in strategic bombers and global power projection. Ultimately, it is the fifth-generation warfare race that will spell out the future of warfare, and as China pushes the boundaries, time will tell only if it will dethrone the United States as the global omnipotent in the skies. The world, however, will watch this most thrilling competition unfold.